night of fights. I actually got my Periscope live going over here on this end, and then I got the YouTube going on this end. So if you guys got any questions, just ask away. I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA, ProWrestling30.com. UFC Vancouver went down tonight. Maia vs Carlos Condit, and I don't know if you guys saw it, but we're going to be reviewing it. It was an amazing main card, in my opinion. Honestly, Paige Van Zant going in there and proving against all the odds. What's going on, Manta Ruiz? Thanks for joining my Periscope live stream. Paige Van Zant, after coming off a loss to Rose Namajunas, and then going on Dancing on the Stars, being away for, what? She was away for a couple of months and she lost to Rose. And, you know, she was on such a hype train up until that very point. And then to lose to Rose, go to Dancing with the Stars, and then come back. Everyone had her eyes on her. This was her night to shine, and she actually pulled through. I'm so curious to find out how many people were watching live tonight, but I cannot wait to see the numbers. I'm waiting for the post-fight press conference to start, so I'm trying to get this in between. And if you are new to my live stream, definitely subscribe down below, whether on Periscope or on YouTube. Definitely subscribe down below. I do a weekly live show every Wednesday night with Ted Check. He's an MMA correspondent. I'm sure you guys know who that is if you're on YouTube. The YouTube star for MMA correspondents, in my opinion. Yeah, actually, I've been watching him forever. But we broke down tonight's fights. I did pretty well on my main card. I got one fight wrong. The Joe Lozon versus Jim Miller fight. What did you guys think about that? That was absolutely nuts. I cannot believe the crazy night of fights that we had. And I didn't do too well in the beginning of the fights. I did not do well at all. I mean, I came into this fight, the first two fights I absolutely crushed. I lost on them. I was like, oh my god. And then UFC 202, since I had a perfect card, I had a lot living up to that. But sometimes this happens when there's free cards and there's a lot of people that we're not familiar with, a lot of rookies, or a lot of people who have lost their last three fights and they're really up against the fence here. It's hard to make those picks. And therefore, I didn't really have that good of a night. But when it came to the main card and fighters that we are all familiar with, I pretty much crushed it. I got, I did not get the main event right, Carlos Condit. Carlos Condit going in there, I didn't know what was happening. Maia, that looked so easy. I cannot believe it. The Assassin Persuasion, thanks for joining the Periscope live stream. If you have any questions, to shoot. If you guys on YouTube got any questions, I'll be checking out the live chat in a minute. But what did you guys think of tonight's fights? I cannot believe Carlos Condit went out the way that he did that quick in the very first round. I don't even know what to think about that. It's not the Carlos Condit I thought I was going to watch tonight. And a lot of people would say that he beat Robbie Lawler, that he should be the champion right now. For Maia to get that fight and beat Carlos Condit, who won a very close decision fight against Robbie Lawler, he could very well be the champion right now. And now he's definitely promised the title shot. And the best part of the night was Wonder Boy in the crowd. And as Maia was giving his post-fight speech, he was actually like, oh, no. Wonder Boy, he can go first and fight Woodley, and I will wait my turn. I was like, that's an awful accent. I'm sorry about that. But that's what he said. And Wonder Boy was in the fans like, thank you so much. Like, no one's going to say that. Maia is a great guy. Even Carlos Condit went up and shook hands and was like, congratulations. That was a huge fight. Damian has been in the fight game for so long, as far back as I can remember. I feel like I've been watching him forever. It feels like forever. And a guy who really just gets so close, and he's so good in one area. And me and Ted were talking about that this week on our live YouTube show, Evil and Intoxicated. It was just out of control. It was an out of control night. But my knockout of the night is definitely going to Paige Van Zant with that Silva kick. That was nuts. Beck Rawlings originally I thought was going to win the fight. Going into this, I really did think that Beck was going to be the bigger fighter, pressure, and really just suffocate Paige. And that's not what happened here. We actually ended up seeing Paige going in there, staying on the outside, using a lot of leg kicks and switching it up, being a little flashy at times. And in the corner at the end of the round one, Justin Buchholz was like, stop with the flashy stuff. Just focus on, stick to the main game. Same to the game plan. And Paige was just going in there, like doing some ballerina stuff, like she was Anderson Silva in there, or Steven Seagal, and she lands it. And Beck was actually laughing at her when she was throwing those first couple of kicks early on in the fight. And you cannot laugh at somebody when you're in the octagon. You got to take everything they're doing seriously, or you're going to get caught. And that's exactly what happened to Beck Rawlings. Couldn't have been laughing. You got to take people seriously. You think Paige is just in there? No, Paige is in there to make a statement, and she stood up and made an impact tonight with a lot of people watching. It was the night for her to really shine, and it was her stage. She's coming off a huge loss to Rose Namajunas, who also just lost recently. And we'll talk about that on the next show. Who should be the next contender? And of course, Carolina obviously is most likely going to be, the Polish hammer versus the Polish pressure versus Polish power, like we were talking about. But Paige VanZant is right in the runnings once again, if you ask me. Should they set up a rematch with Rose? I don't know. Is that too soon? I don't know. But we got to figure out who's going to be the next title contender after Karolina Kowalkiewicz fights Joanna Jędrzejczyk. MMA has really twisted my tongue the last couple of years. What do you guys think about this fight tonight? What was your favorite fight of the night? Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at evil_echo. That's EVIL_ECCO. Make sure you subscribe to our podcast. We're going to have Paul Felder on this. I talked to him, actually messaged him tonight. He was going to be watching the fight, so we'll hear what he had to say about that. Thank you for tuning in, Amin Hamadi. Thanks for joining my Periscope live stream. I'm also live on YouTube right now, so thanks for tuning in. If you got any questions, my man, and I remember you from the last stream. If you got any questions to shoot away, I'm going live right now. I'll show you. I'm actually doing my YouTube show right there. So if you just want to search Pure Evil MMA on YouTube, you can probably get a better stream and actually see the real show. But thanks for tuning in to Periscope. I usually like to switch it up, do all sorts of different kind of media. I'm on Instagram as well. You can search for me, evil_echo. That's EVIL_ECCO. I got t-shirts for sale. I went 12 for 12 on my predictions at UFC 202, which was absolutely crazy. And everyone's already talking about this rubber match with Conor McGregor and Nate. And they're talking about the Mayweather match. And I said it in the podcast, and I'm going to say it again. Only boxing match I want to see with Mayweather fight a UFC fighter is with Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is the better boxer by far. Thanks for following me, man. But guys, Paige VanZant tonight put on one hell of a show. It was a huge night for her. She actually made an impact when it really mattered the most, counted the most tonight, and she made a huge impact. And let's give it a round of applause to Showtime Pettis for stepping up, showing up in the 145-pound division, making his debut, starting it off fresh, and submitting a submission artist of Charles Oliveira. I mean, come on. And from his back as well. And that's not the first time we see a Showtime Pettis submit people from the back. That's not the first time. He did a great job, so congratulations to him. I do not know what to say about the main event, though. That went pretty quick, and not too happy about it. Carlos Condit is going to really have to think, and he just really screwed up. Like, very first round, we saw him try to, grab a hold, it seemed like, of Damian Maia's head. And, of course, he just went to his back, and Damian Maia just was overpowering, just, like, literally stepping over, just forcefully. And Carlos Condit was just in that choke, and he was trying to stay calm, but that was just locked in, and you just saw Carlos just very loosely just tap out. And it was just absolutely crazy. Not what I expected, but also what I expected. I mean, he did it to Matt Brown. He's been just Gunnar Nelson. He's just been an absolute tear lately, and he's definitely deserving of the title shot. Is it going to be an exciting title fight? No. It's probably not going to be an exciting title fight, but he might get the job done. He's been doing it. He's been executing an amazing game plan, doing what got him to the dance, and it's been successful for him. He's not trying to do anything flashy. He's just trying to do what he's good at. And that's what mixed martial arts is all about. You got to mix it up. Carlos Condit, I thought was going to go in there, switch it up, be unpredictable, throw Damian Maia off, and for some reason he just grabbed a hold of him, and that's where he made the mistake and ended up on his back, and the fight was finished. Let's talk about Joe Lozon, though, in the fight against Jim Miller in the rematch. And, of course, we remember this fight from years ago, and Jim Miller won unanimous decision, and the same thing happened tonight. But what an amazing fight it was in that first round. Very close, back and forth the whole time. Back and forth, back and forth. Wow. I did not know what to think was going to happen, and I had no idea what the judges were going to rule it for. This was a very close fight, in my opinion, and I thought Joe Lozon was doing just enough, but Jim Miller was throwing some crazy punches, landing some amazing combinations on Joe Lozon, and he was taking it like a champ, though. Joe Lozon was still pressing forward, even though he found himself in some trouble at points. He found himself pushing forward and still putting up a fight. So congratulations to him, but at the end of the fight, he said no more. pretty much meaning, man, you're a tough fight. So congratulations to Jim Miller, his brother being ringside with him. What a main event, and a big card for Fox as well, with stars like Pettis Wins Via SUB, who just on Dancing with the Stars. Showtime Pettis, who was the very first UFC fighter to ever be on a Wheaties box. We remember him from MTV True Life, and Frankie Edgar was on there as well. What an amazing night. Make sure you guys subscribe down below. Let me know what you guys thought of tonight's fight. And I will be making tomorrow's podcast for everyone's Monday morning ride on Twitter, or not on Twitter, on iTunes, and also a new webisode going on. Justin Beaumont, what's going on, my man? I remember you from high school. Thanks for tuning in to Pure Evil Monet. If you got any questions, I am live on YouTube, but I'm actually doing my sign out now. So hang on there for a second. Follow me on Twitter at evil_echo. Like us on Facebook. I give daily updates. Keep everyone updated on every fight. Cover every fight. And next Friday night, I will be live for Lion Fights 31. I interviewed Jarena Bars, who's pretty much the Ronda Rousey in Muay Thai. So check out that interview down below here on my YouTube page. I actually interviewed her opponent, Angela Whitley, who's on the TV. Guys, there's going to be 4 title fights this night. It's going to be live on Access TV. I got all the news that you need and all the interviews you need down below, so subscribe. I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA, ProEpic30.com. Have a great night.